Hey everybody, welcome back to the Miniac, and today we are trying something new. A company called Lithium Auto Elixirs reached out to me and they wanted me to try out some of their detailing products on my cars. So I thought we would test out the products on my clubman back here. So I have all the products laid out here. I have my detailing guy here.
Hello.
And we're gonna give them a try, see what we think. So let's get started. Anyway, the first product we're trying here, according to this sheet I have, is called For Clay. It is a clay bar, naturally. So we're gonna give this a shot, see what we think of it. And there's some spots on my clubman that could use a clay barring, so this is the box it came in. And what's really cool about this is they didn't send me like sample bottles. They actually sent me like full-size bottles of this stuff, which is really cool, including this Leather Love thing here. They all have really funny names, so it's like Leather Love, Hide Rehab, Seal and Squeal, Gloss Sauce, Trim Serum, which if you know how minis are, the black trim tends to fade. This might actually be a useful thing to try. So let's see how these go. But we got the clay bar here. Now, what exactly does a clay bar do? Because I don't know for sure.
Yep, clay, basically what it does is it removes fine surface contamination. So basically when you rub your hand over the paint, you'll feel kind of like a notebook paper effect. Okay. What this does is it shears all that off, so we have the valleys and the peaks, and makes the surface more flat. That does a couple things for us. That increases our shine and gloss, and then it allows us to apply that LSP, our last step product, and allows it to bond a little better, so you get better longevity. Okay, so yeah, you can kind of feel like the stuff like bumps in the paint.
And
we have a lot of specs, probably from trees.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Well, given the tree I have over my house, it makes sense. Yep. Well, this will be fun to try out.
Yeah.
And for all you wondering, all their products are all natural as well, so that's a good thing. These aren't like filled with chemicals. They have natural stuff in them. What is this made with? All natural, pure, very fine volcanic mud. Huh. Okay. Cool.
I do like the container there.
Yeah, you can store it away, and you don't need the whole bar. You just need a little piece of it.
You just need a little piece of it.
Where should we start on this car?
You want to start on the roof here? Cause it's
sure.
It'd be a little bit easier for them to see. And basically the clay loop, we're just going to use regular water just to make sure it's the surface is wet, just something to break the surface tension.
Okay.
You just go back and forth lightly, a little bit of pressure, until your spots are removed. And I'd say it's working pretty well.
Wow. I can actually see it from here.
Yep, and it's normal to have to go over some of this stuff a little bit, so this tree stuff can be kind of nasty and sticky.
Well, this car was ceramic coated before. Unfortunately, I had a hailstorm and I drove through it. So they had to pull all the dents out using glue. So whatever coating was on the car isn't there anymore.
You said they buffed it as well in most areas?
They buffed it and polished it. They cleaned it up. I mean, the car looks fantastic now and you can't see any dents, but the coating I had on it is gone.
Right. All right, I'll get a clean microfiber. We'll give that area a wipe.
Well, it already feels smoother than it did.
Our plush microfiber towels from the rag company here. We give the area, we did a little bit of a wipe.
We'll see how this stuff works on the roof. And for all you wondering, if you want to test out a new product, a roof might be a good place to do it because you don't always see it.
That's right.
But, so there it is. And that is smooth as glass. I like that.
Yep, nice and smooth.
What would you rate this product then?
It did good. I like the clay. It's real malleable. I think I would give this product on a scale of 1 to 10. As far as other clays on the market, I would say it's comparable, if not a little better for the environmental factor.
Okay.
Environmental factor. Good stuff.
Awesome. All right, well, that's a win for the clay bar. Let's try out something else over here.
What do you want to do next?
Let's see. How about the, which would you do first? Would you do the seal and squeal or the gloss sauce? This one is a paint sealant. This one I think is a wax.
Well, we can do the hood in a 50-50 fashion.
Okay.
I'll finish drying the car. We can go to a little break here. I'll get the car dried up.
Okay.
And then we can do a 50-50 on the hood and see what you think from there.
All right. Well, that's what we're going to do. So we'll be back in a second. All right, so we're at the bonnet of the car, and we have seal and squeal. We're going to try it on one side of the car. And then the gloss sauce, we're going to try on the other side of the car. And we're going to see how these look.
And it is important to note that our directions say, big bus, to apply in the direction of the wind traveling and to let the product sit on the car for 20 to 30 minutes before removal. So we'll see how it goes.
So in other words, have some lemonade or some iced tea around if you're going to wait a while.
Absolutely.
Or something else you're going to work on. So have something out here to work on while you're waiting for your sealant to cure. But he just put it on a applicator, and now we're going to try it out. You can see the paint line, or the lines of it. Preferably do this on a car that's not been scratched and dented. Luckily I've had all my dents pulled out, so.
Goes on pretty smooth.
Mm-hmm.
A few rock chips there.
Yeah, well, it's a Mini.
It happens, right?
Yeah. If you have a Mini with no rock chips, you've never driven it.
And we're at 9:30 exactly.
So we wait
till 10.
Give it till 10.
Since we're in the shade.
Yep. We could go ahead while we're waiting and apply the gloss sauce though on the other side.
That's right. Get them both off at the same time. Go ahead and shake this thoroughly.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna set this stuff back up here on the cowl. We'll lay it down. Set it up on the cowl. There we go.
And did it say what the product contains in either of those?
Okay, the instructions, or should I say the ingredients, say it contains functional amino polymers and sealants which bond to the paint at a molecular level, fills in microscopic pits in flattened surface, expand and contract while holding strong. And that's the same thing for the gloss sauce. So they both do two different jobs, but they both do the same thing as far as ingredients are concerned. So they're still the same kind of thing where they're still made with organics.
Yep, good carnauba wax there.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is their the wax version versus the sealant version.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing as far as longevity?
Doesn't say on here.
Well, we'll test them out and find out.
Yep, I'll be able to test over the long term, figure out how these look over the course of like a few months or so, and we'll go from there. But so far I'm pretty impressed. So you put the gloss sauce already?
Yep, gloss sauce is applied, and we'll just run it off at the same timer, or 30 minutes.
Okay, so in 30 minutes we'll come back to the front of the car and we'll check out both sides and see how it came out. So here's our test car, and there's the line drawn. So one on one side, one on the other. Do not do this at home with your own car. We're just testing this out just to see how this looks. We'll probably go back over it with one full product and then the other. But we figured we would split the difference right now just to see how they work.
The thing that I like about these products already, we haven't buffed it off yet. With typical wax or sealant, you do one panel at a time and then buff off. With this having a 30-minute cure time before it flashes and before you do the final buff, you know, your average car, you can start at one side, apply the product, and by the time you get back around to where you started, you can go ahead and start your buff off process.
Now is flashing a terminology thing in detailing?
Yep, flash is basically where you apply the last step product and then it starts to haze over, or it starts to, depending on the product, will have like a rainbow color effect to it. And that's when you know the product is bonded to the surface and it's time to go ahead and give it that buff.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, it's a good thing I have a detailing guy here to help me figure this out. I wouldn't know a damn thing. So while we're waiting on those to dry, we're going to try out the Trim Serum here. And it says on the instructions to clean the surface with Hyper Cleanse, which we don't have. And why does it say that? You should have seen that one coming. Lithium, you guys have a real sense of humor. Apply trim serum in small amounts to rubber and plastic trim parts. Allow the product to a few minutes to sit on the surface, then wipe and buff dry with a clean microfiber towel. Tip, let the plastic parts warm in the sun for a bit to open pores, then pull into the shade and allow to cool. Do not apply to hot surfaces. Extra credit, allow the product to cure for 24 hours and then reapply. This will put an additional layer of sealing and protection power and fill in any spots you may have missed. Alright, well, that's one thing to try. What does it contain? Carbon, sealants, and some stuff we could not spell and do not want our competition to read. Okay. So, what this basically is it's plastic restorer. So, for those of you with a Mini out there who have plastic trim, and for those of you not with a Mini out there who have plastic trim, this is basically a trim restorer.
Good sized bottle of trim restorer too.
That is it's basic. I've noticed that a lot of these look like barbecue sauce bottles. Now, Lithium, is that a thing that you guys do with your products? You put them in like what looks like barbecue sauce bottles? Because it's kind of looking like that. But anyway, we're gonna give this trim restorer a try and see how it works. All right, so we're trying the trim serum now. Bobby here's put it on an applicator. And we've picked the back fender trim here, wheel arch trim on my Clubman. Because you can see here it's kind of striping a little bit. So let's pick a spot and get to it.
You just want to come on this side of me and I'll just get this whole little piece of trim here. We'll start here.
Now for those of you with OCD, look away because this will probably be the only one that we do this on for the time being. Now, like most trim restorers, it already blacks it out.
We're just going back over and leveling the product now.
Yeah. So it's kind of a back to black thing like you would see with some of these other trim things. But I'm liking the look of it already. Gives it a nice shine. And then you can immediately see the difference when you get over here where the part hasn't been treated, and you can see where it's been restored. So it's shiny right now, and then we'll have to wait a few minutes and then wipe it off. This is usually my least favorite job with this car. Probably why I don't do it as often.
The real important part with these type of products is just to make sure you get it leveled off of there.
Yeah. You don't want to leave globs or anything.
Yeah.
But this smoothed out nicely, actually.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that's on there. And what did it say, like a couple minutes, we wipe it off, see how it looks. Now, if you were doing your whole car, you'd probably wipe this on, go all the way around, and then by the time you got around to this piece of trim again, it'd be time to wipe it off. So we're gonna give this thing a test and see how it looks. Now, Lithium also sent me this Leather Love stuff, which is a leather restorer, and a hide rehab, which is a leather conditioner. Now, unfortunately, this car here has cloth seats, and this one has Alcantara and leatherette, but it's mostly Alcantara, so it's a little hard to try the product out on this car. But I'm pretty impressed with the product so far, so when I finally have a Mini where I can test out these leather products, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, I am impressed with them, and like I said, they're still all natural. I mean, this stuff contains lipids, amino acids, lanolin, and naturally purified oils. So none of those things sound like synthetic chemicals, which is fantastic, actually. So that's a good thing. And then the hide rehab is shea butter, purified coconut oil, vitamin E, and UV inhibitors, and some secret sauces we cannot discuss, so naturally. But pretty impressive so far. Everything's all natural here, so that's good for the environment, good for your cleaning thing when you're cleaning your car, detailing your car, so that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna get back over here again, and Bobby here is going to wipe off the serum here.
And I think most of the plastic absorbed the product, which is definitely definitely a good sign.
Wow, I have actually not seen that with any of the other products I've used. That's a good thing. That is...
Dry to the touch, no oil.
Holy crap. That's impressive. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed with this. That is fantastic, and especially for a Mini owner with a lot of black trim on their cars. That is phenomenal. So you wait a couple of minutes and it just absorbs into the plastic, and then there's nothing to get on your fingers anymore. Like, I've tried out like other plastic restorers and they've never done that. I've always wiped stuff off the plastic.
Longevity is going to be a big factor. We'll see how long it lasts.
Yep, well, I drive this car more often than I drive the race car, so it'll get a good chance to test out, see like after a week or so how this actually works. So, anywho, that's one wheel arch. I'd have to do another one later, but in the meantime, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. Okay, we just let this cure a little bit more, so it's lost some of the gloss, but look how dark that is. That is amazing. That's fantastic. So it's been about 30 minutes, and we're gonna see how these clean up. So first we have on this side the seal and squeal, which is the, what was it, paint sealant?
Yep, that's our sealant.
Okay, so let's get to it and see how this looks.
Good quick way to check to see if your last step product, wax or sealant's ready to buff off, is give it the old finger swipe test. She's clean, means we're hazed over and we're ready to go. So we'll go ahead and start and see how well it comes off. Comes off pretty easy in the shade. In fact, I really like that.
Wow. Okay. Now, naturally I have some paint scratches on this because of rock chips, but for what this is, pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely restores some shine.
That is a shiny bonnet right there.
All right.
Wow. So now let's head over to the other side. We had the gloss sauce, which is a wax, I think.
Gloss sauce is the Carnauba, yeah.
Yeah.
Get off the...
Forgot about the stripe.
Gotta get the stripe. Okay, and then we'll flip our towel so we have no cross-contamination here.
Okay. So now we're onto the gloss sauce side.
Yep, give her the little finger test here. Yep, we're
That's
ready to go. So we'll start the buff process.
So first we get the stripe, and then we get the paint.
Yeah, and same thing, comes off really, really easy.
I'm actually really impressed with the gloss sauce. Look at that.
And it may be kind of hard to tell from our camera, but in person...
Well, I can see a shine in the camera too. That's pretty nice.
And then we'll flip just to give it that final wipe down. Which do you like so far better, Zach?
So, hard to tell, but unless I want to seal the paint, I'm kind of leaning toward the gloss sauce just for a waxing thing if I want to do work on my car. Or just make it look shiny.
Okay.
The gloss sauce is definitely a way to go. But I like them both. I like them both. They're both pretty impressive. What do you think about both of them so far?
The seal and squeal, obviously, I think, you know, being their sealant, that sealant is designed to last longer than traditional wax. This has the natural Carnauba in it, so longevity-wise, we'll probably go to the seal and squeal, so it'll be interesting to see that test. And typically, it rates right up there with our standard sealant, better longevity, not quite as much gloss, but still good shine. And the gloss sauce, usually with the traditional Carnauba wax, adds that good immediate gloss. So,
and we'll test this out and see how this lasts over the long term. But so far the gloss sauce has done pretty well. The seal and squeal has done pretty well. The clay bar, the trim serum. I didn't get to try out the leather stuff because I don't have a leather interior in any of these cars. But I'm so far pretty impressed. And I'm going to test out these products a little bit more. My detailing guy here is going to test out the gloss sauce on his own van
Yep, we have a 50-50 panel of the sealant and the gloss sauce. Top is the sealant and the gloss sauce is bottom. We'll see how well they buff off in the sunlight, and then we'll go from there, and I'll be able to test longevity, because this thing, I wash this thing all the time.
Yep.
So it's kind of hard to see in white, but I'll be able to tell how easy it comes off in sunlight, because a lot of people will be using this stuff out at car shows or whatnot, are going to want to be able to use this in direct sun.
They'll be like quick detailing their car real fast.
Yep.
And for most of you out there in the car community, you know that using quick detailer is kind of the mainstay of a lot of people. It's basically a quick wax. So that would probably be the gloss sauce for quick stuff with the car shows, not necessarily the paint sealant.
And again, that comes off, and it's really smooth. That comes off really easy, even in the sun. So.
And this is how you tell when a detailing guy is becoming successful, when he has to upgrade from a Chevy Astro van to a ProMaster Dodge, or to a ProMaster Ram. So he's definitely moved up, because his old van would have fit perfectly in the driveway. This one's almost sticking out into the street.
Yeah, this one's a bit dirty too. I need to get it cleaned up. It's going in for graphics this next week. So making some minor improvements as we go.
Now, for those of you thinking I have the money to have a detailing guy, he did me a favor on the race car, because I have his sponsorship logos on the fenders.
Absolutely.
But he's done my cars in the past for me, and he does fantastic work. So if you're in the Kansas City area looking for a detailing guy, look up Redline Auto Detail, and this is his logo.
Yep, you can find us on the web at www.redlinekc.com, on Facebook at Redline Auto Detail, and Instagram. So give us a follow.
Yeah. So on top of having the Lithium Auto Elixir links in the description below, I'll also have his website information in the description below, so you can go check it out. If you're in the Kansas City area and you want to get your car detailed, he makes house calls as well. And as far as the Lithium Auto Elixir stuff is concerned, I'm incredibly impressed. And yeah, they might end up sponsoring the channel if they like this video. So I'm hoping they like this video. I'm impressed with their product. And even with the price, it's a little on the higher side as far as pricing is concerned, but we're going to find out how the longevity is over the long term by testing these out. The Trim Serum, if it lasts as long as I think it's going to, it might make the price worth it. So we're gonna find out pretty soon. But until next time, I want to thank you all for watching. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the little notification bell. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. I'm sorry, I don't upload videos on Wednesday anymore. So I upload videos on Monday, Wednesday, nope. I upload videos on Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. And until next time, I just want to remind you all that life is too short to drive a boring car. So as always, drive a Mini. I'll see you next time.